So I've been really debating about making this video because there have been a ton of reports going around with the Batman Part 2 by all these different people, mainly Daniel RPK, the guy who seems to be reporting on basically everything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some secret Kim Kardashian sex tape that's just never been released yet that Daniel RPK somehow knows about. That motherfucker knows about basically everything. Again, a ton of other credible sources have basically been saying the exact same stuff he has about this new Batman Part 2 news. Issue is, James Gunn actually went on Twitter or Threads, I believe, and said that none of this was actually true, or at least like the reports weren't true. And for once, I actually disagree with James Gunn on this. I think there have been way too many reports for months now that I think James Gunn is just trying and calm down the leaks and stuff, because this movie is not coming out till 2025. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I will talk about the most obvious ones that have been reported by nearly everyone and their dad first. Again, first of all, we're looking at the report by Daniel RPK that we know that Hush and, of course, Clayface will be in the Batman Part 2. That was reported by about everyone. Again, the issue is as well, I don't know if James Gunn is completely telling the truth, but also completely telling the truth as in not all of it is true. Maybe he knows in the back of his mind that some of it is true and some of the stuff isn't true. But there have been some other reports. Again, there is one here that says, according to insider Daniel RPK, Professor Pig will appear in Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2. He will also join Scarecrow, Hush, and Dick Grayson, who will all reportedly have roles in the film too. Clayface is already confirmed by Deadline Hollywood to appear too. Again, there's legitimately another source for you. Then there's another report here from Daniel RPK that says Dick Grayson is reportedly set to appear in The Batman Part 2. Filming is eyeing a summer 2024 start date. This also coincides with the report that we got, I think, like 6 months ago. I can't even remember who it was from, but it wasn't Daniel RPK, that actually did say that Damian Wayne isn't the only Robin we're going to be getting who is in the Brave and the Bold movie in James Gunn's DCU. But that report said about 6 months ago that Dick Grayson would be, of course, in this movie as well. Now, a lot of this is really, really interesting, and it kind of weirds me out that James Gunn has done this and was vocal on saying that all of this information is not true, because we also know, again, I've spoken about it on this channel, that there is a Scarecrow and Clayface project all supposed to be happening. Again, this is a report from The Great Phase saying that Mike Flanagan has been given the green light to develop a Clayface movie that will be set in the Reevesverse. Obviously continuing on from Clayface, who we know is going to be a villain in the Batman Part 2. So this is really just insane. Like, the Batman leaks are becoming insane. Like, James Gunn, they're becoming that insane that James Gunn has had to basically somewhat kind of put his trust in fans on the line by saying that this information isn't true. And again, I believe it was specifically he commented on the Daniel RPK report that mainly alluded that Scarecrow, Professor Pig would all be in the Batman Part 2. But there's, again, so much proof out there by so many different sources saying that Scarecrow is getting his own project and that Clayface and of course Hush are basically a lock. I believe Hush was also in the article. So is James Gunn saying that Hush is not going to... Oh my god, I'm having an absolute heart attack on camera. This is how crazy this again. Is James Gunn saying that Hush is not going to be in the Batman Part 2? Like, there's literally a hint in the Batman that suggests that Hush is going to be the main villain in this movie. Like, it's kind of been in production for a long time. Like, it's just so weird to me. Again, I've spoken about this on camera before about how I think this project is going to go. Again, some people are like, oh my god, too many villains. There's really not. If you think about it, the first Batman movie had the Riddler as the main villain, it had the Penguin as the side villain, and then it also had like Falcone in the movie and his plot, and then obviously Catwoman as well. People just seem to forget that Catwoman is not like a hero. Like, she is an anti-hero and more villain in most cases than anti-hero. Probably in the Batman series, she might be predominantly an anti-hero. But again, this is Catwoman we're talking about, who has nearly betrayed Batman at least once in every adaptation that we have seen. If she does betray him, which she probably will, that's legitimately 4 villains in the first movie. We obviously... Oh, and the Joker, who was an end credit scene. I just, forgot about that one. In the Batman Part 2, we obviously know there will be Hush, there will be Clayface, there will be, most likely now, it looks like Scarecrow. The Joker will probably have some involvement, maybe another small cameo. And there's been a report that I've spoken about on this channel before, that Harvey Dent will be in this movie. We don't know if he's going to be Two-Face, but the reason I believe the Joker was introduced in the first movie, I think is obvious, right? I don't think the Joker is going to have this big, like, he's going to be like the main villain per se type in any of these movies like we've seen him previously. The way I think that the DC... that Matt Reeves is setting this Matt Reeves DC universe for Batman up, is I believe by the third movie, we will hopefully have an Arkham Asylum jailbreak, which we've never seen in live action before. We've had 40 plus years pretty much of Batman movies, and we have never seen an Arkham Asylum jailbreak so far. If all of these villains get introduced and we get like a sneak peek of Scarecrow, a sneak peek of Harvey Dent, the third movie, we could be legitimately seeing those like 9-10 villains that I previously just mentioned all get broken out by the Joker. And that's really why I think the Joker's been introduced in this. I think he will be the guy who breaks them out of Arkham, and I think it will be a brilliant idea. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a little sneak peek of him in this movie as well. I believe there was a report saying that Barry Keoghan was supposed to return in this movie, so it should be very interesting on that front. I'm just so, like, weirded out that James Gunn has legitimately said that this stuff is, like, fake and it is fake news when these reports have been going on for 6 months to a year now. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think James Gunn is scared because, again, he is the CEO of DC Studios now. Even though it is not his universe, it is Matt Reeves' universe, he still oversees these releases and whatnot. So in saying that, he's probably like, crap, all of this news and information is getting leaked out. If all the villains and stuff are all leaked out, what's to say an insider like this Daniel RPK guy couldn't potentially get his hands on the plot? What if though? What if, and this is something I haven't considered for this video, imagine how funny it would be if James Gunn has been telling the truth this whole time and all these reporters, every single one of them is full of crap, and it is somehow the second movie is a Mr. Freeze story. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Even though I definitely don't think that's the way they're going to go. It makes you wonder, why is Mr. Freeze's story not being utilized in film before, really? I mean, Arnold had his Mr. Freeze, but that wasn't really Mr. Freeze, was it? Maybe James Gunn's waiting to use it in his universe. I think that'd be a pretty cool idea. Might even make another video on that. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below, what you guys think about all of this. I'd very much like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my IRL/vlog channel and my sports channels. Links for them will be in the description down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.